All right, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to New York session. I hope you're doing well. It's a brand new week, and here we are again. So, last week we did hit our target of looking for the dollar index to reach for the 50%, and I also did give this fair value gap over here 98 level. We kind of reached that this morning. In London we gave a sharp move away, so I'm kind of looking for maybe price to go down a little bit more to form the low of the week. Now, based on the high time frame, the daily, we are still looking for a move higher. Not until we get a confirmation, then we switch. But for now, I think we might be coming down to form the low of the week. Hence, between today and tomorrow, I'm expecting lower prices. Okay, I'm expecting lower prices. Economic calendar wise, we have CPI news tomorrow, so bear that in mind. CPI is tomorrow, so that can affect the market. So if we don't go up today, probably it's because of that. They will keep it in a sideways, and then tomorrow they move it. But from the lower time frame perspective, with this move here, I'm kind of expecting this low as a draw on liquidity. All right, so you're looking for Friday's low, this one, 97.66 as the next draw on liquidity. That will give a potential buy on euro to also go to 1.1714 level. Okay, so we are looking for continuation to the upside. They did take out the previous week low here and then gave a nice impulsive move away, so that is why we are looking for that as the draw on liquidity. So look for Friday's high. For today, how we close today will give us more it'll give us more, I would say, data for us to know what is going to do next. Okay, it give us more data or more information to what the market wants to do going forward. Okay, so for now, let's look here with this gap as a reason because of the previous week low being taken here. So we are looking for price to go up there. And let me bring that line over here, 1.171. British pound, same thing, something similar. We took out previous week low, we left the gap, so probably this gap over here. This happened overnight, so I'm not actually bothered about that much. I'm looking for this high and that high. That is the most important level so far. 1.35 1.3520. That's the most important level. Now it's a little bit too early for this week, so just remain calm, patient, let the market unfold gradually. Don't force any trades. Even with this today being Monday, I'm not really convinced, so probably just sit. But if you have to trade, then I think upside is what I'm expecting. Euro pound, we eventually went for that high. I got a really nice buy from down here, and I got my profit taken this morning. But I think we can continue going up to go up here, right there, 0.8694, 0.8694, and with that, maybe the euro will be the best buy. So in case you're wondering, in case you want to buy, euro will be the best buy. I think last week we spoke a lot about this expanding to attack the previous week high. On Friday they got very close to it, and then the market closed. I was tempted to close my trade, but I left it, and then this morning when I woke up, price had gone for the target. So that was a nice trade. Again, potentially fair value gap being left here, so higher prices. Dollar yen, we also went in for the gap. I think it was on the H4, right? We've closed in the gap. We had a bit of a reaction off from there, but not so much. For now, let's give it some few time for it to give us something to use. As it stands, we've not had any reaction, even though they've closed through this imbalance. It did happen overnight, and I'm not a fan of overnight price action. So let's wait patiently and see if they can go back down to that same level during this scale zone, during this New York, and then yeah, we can do something with it. If not, then we stay put and wait. Gold, we did eventually go for the previous week high, as I mentioned. Last week I made another mistake by not looking at the weekly, but we did take out the previous week low, so it was always gonna go for a previous week high, but I caught it right on time. So Friday I gave you, during the New York session, right here, oh, not there, here, I gave you that they were going to go for that level. So I actually bought it, as much as it was a little bit too late. I got a buy in here. So if you see, we have a gap during the first hours of the New York session right here. So we traded into it, right? And then I bought there, and then price went straight to that level. Okay, now what am I expecting this week? From the monthly perspective, like I said, price needs to attack June's low, but since we started July, we've gone up. So what I'm expecting is a change in the state of delivery on the daily. Okay, I want to see a change in the state of delivery on the daily. Hence, it's either we get a big drop or a rally through this level. So that is the level that is meaningful to price going here or price resuming going higher. This volume imbalance. So if we stay below it, then we will come back down to June's low. If we climb above it, then we will continue going higher. So yeah, I'm looking for any of them. Okay, so I'm gonna be patient and wait for what price is gonna show me. Okay, and it can start showing on the H4. So for example, if we get a big drop away from here, especially trading through this gap, that will be the first clue as to the market showing intention that it wants to go down, and then we'll follow that. If not, then they will scream above it. Then we will use the gap that will be created for a potential buy to continue going higher. Okay, moving on to the next one is crude oil. So crude oil Friday, I got my trade stop out. I had a sell limit in here. It got triggered, and I had my stop loss right here. So I got kicked out of the trade, but I didn't buy because of time of the day. Okay, so I think what price wants to do probably is to rebalance this gap here, or this void, because now it looks like they are going through that volume imbalance, right, with today's candle. So price might trade all the way back up to this candle's low, 72.40. Okay, price can go all the way up there. Not convinced yet because the daily has not closed. So this gap here, day needs to close above it. If it does, then that will act as an inverted volume imbalance, and that will also act as resistance, just like it will act as support, just like it acted as resistance over here. Okay, so that is that for crude oil. So on the H4, it looks like we've left a down candle here, we are almost leaving a gap here. So in the next hour and 44 minutes, if price can leave this gap over here, then that will be very good for higher prices, because there's nothing over here, right? It's a void, so we might see some big candles trading higher. Okay, ES. So ES, I think that also I gave this level to watch for New York session. It didn't do much. It couldn't hold price. They went through it just a little bit, and then it came back down. But when the market opened, we've gapped down. So in my opinion, we need to wait and see how today is gonna close, because it kind of stuck in a consolidation right in here. Okay, from the high time frame perspective, it's gonna keep going up, but maybe a pullback might be imminent before the continuation. So let's see how today is gonna close. Do we go back above this gap, because this has now created a volume imbalance so far? Okay, do we go and close it and continue, or do we reject? That is the that is what we are watching for now. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to the cryptos. I think we had some exciting we have some exciting moves that has happened on the crypto market. Okay, Bitcoin, we are reaching for 168, the projected 168 that we did last week, right? It's aiming for that. So keep an eye, because I think that is where we're going, especially with how the week closed, right? It's a sign that we will be reaching for it. On the daily, yeah, shooting up aggressive candles. So with this down candle right here, if we pull back into this gap, that's an opportunity to buy, to continue going up. Or if we close above that down candle, that's also an opportunity to buy, because that will act as a support to keep price higher. So 129556, that is our draw liquidity. Ethereum, I think it actually came back into the gap, the daily gap that we highlighted, and then rejected, and it's aiming for the 3.147 level. So price is heading for 3.147 level. Keep to the upside on Ethereum. Same thing with Solana. We came into the gap here, rejected, and we've now reached for the 168.55. Now with how price is shaped, I think we're gonna keep going higher. So let me see which level. Okay, on the daily we don't have much apart from 169.01. so 169.01, if price can close above it, then we will be aiming for 179.52. so 169.01, that's the threshold. If we can close above it, then we'll be aiming for 179.58. all right, so that is your key to know where price is gonna go. If I still think we'll go there, okay, I still think we'll go there, but don't buy it once we've hit this level. Maybe a pullback into a gap on the lower time frame like this one here, then you buy. Don't buy where we are now, okay? Buy a pullback to it, and then, because if you buy where we are, you expose yourself too much. XRP, we've reached the 3 level. So now, based on how the weekly is behaving, we might be reaching for the 3.405 level. Okay, this aggressive move is nice. It's a pure intention. Price wants to continue going higher, right? They've blown through this monthly high aggressively, so we're gonna continue going up. Our next level is 3.405. Again, if you want to buy, wait for a pullback to a H4 gap or a H4 order block like this or this. That is a gap, that is an order block. So if they pull back to it, then you buy. Hype. So hype, I think I mentioned this week closure is important, and last week closure was important, and then this week we want this week to also expand up, creating a gap. Then we can look for a pullback and then buy. I think target wise they've gone through let me do the measurement again. Okay, so I think we are heading for the 51.30 level, and then we might aim for 61 as well. Oops, that line was not on properly. Yeah, so 51.22, 61.12, that is your upside objectives. If we pull back somewhere here, that is a buy. If the daily gives a gap, that gap can also be used for a buy. Don't use the H4. Okay, I don't trust the H4. Use the daily and the weekly. If the daily gives a gap, that's when you buy. If it pulls here, buy. If we leave this down candle, next day trades down into it, then you buy to continue going up. AI16, that also traded into the gap and rejected. So far so good. I like the fact that they've left this one open, so that's a good sign. The weekly also expanded up. Now this week we don't want them to touch this candle's high. We want them to expand up, leaving our first weekly gap over here, and that will be very nice, because then that will be our key, or the signature that price will be sustained to continue going higher. All right, so AI16Z, we want the weekly, not the daily, the weekly, to stay like this, leaving a fair value gap. And then finally Chachki. So Chachki did give us the reversal as we were looking for. So Friday I mentioned that you can buy here and then target there, right? And we did get that. Pull back into a gap, confirmed, and then we shot off. And remember I said when this one starts going up, it can give you some crazy candles, and that is what you saw, or that is what you're seeing on the daily. So Chachki is also now catching up with what all the cryptos has done. I like the move above this. Okay, so I think our next upside objective will be up here, 0.00011. That'll be the next draw on liquidity, so look for that. And then we also have this level here, 0.00014. so the 1 1 and then the 1 4, that is the draw on liquidity. So I think that is all that we have for today. Yeah, but the rest, for the currencies, just be patient with it, because like I said, it's still early. Okay, it's so early, so let price give us a little bit of information, so that we can use that information to, especially this New York session. Okay, today's New York session will give us more information as to what price wants to do going forward. So don't be in a rush, stay patient, and fingers crossed they will show us what they want to do, or price will give us its intention, and then we will take it from there. Okay, so that is all I have for you for today. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all on Tuesday, tomorrow. Like I said, Tuesday we have CPI news. Let me double check the time. Yeah, the CPI news is at 1:30. Okay, so tomorrow 1:30 we're gonna monitor. Okay, we're gonna monitor it together. I'll stay around till 1:30. Even if I finish going through the pairs, we'll stay around till 1:30 and see how the news is gonna affect price. They might use it to give us an indication of what the rest of the week is going to trade. So maybe after that news, I'll wait another 5 minutes to see how that news react. If it's a manipulation to the downside or it's a manipulation to the upside. If they go up and then maybe within the next 5 minutes they go down, then that will be the confirmation that they want to go down. But if they go down first and then they go up, then that will also be a confirmation that they want to go up. So let's see how tomorrow's news is gonna react, and that will give us maybe the rest of the week how we are going to be looking at price. All right, so that's it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all same time tomorrow. Take care.